Peace and prosperity to all living beings within range of my divine voice. It is Apple time. We are here yet again in nature, here to tap into this loving, positive nature, here to tap into this loving, positive energy that we call earthing, grounding, whichever term you like, it is the same. We take our shoes off and we come and tap into nature so that we can provide a loving experience for Dominique, for Diva, for all the beautiful, wonderful people who choose to come and join us in this loving, peaceful environment. We love y'all. We thank you so much for being here. Dom, I hope your day was as magical as mine. Check out this. So much for being here. Dom, I hope your day was as magical as mine. So much for being here. Dom, I hope your day was as magical as mine. So much for being here. Dom, I hope your day was as magical as mine. Check out this beautiful firefly waiting for us. Oh, hold on. Almost lost it. Thank you all so much for being here. We're going to get into the show real soon. We're going to let everybody get a chance to come in. It was a day. You want to tell us about it? Loyal. Peace and prosperity to you, Loyal. Miko. Peace and prosperity to you, Miko. Dom, go ahead, take a moment and tell us about help to cleanse that energy. Because that's, of course, what we're here for. To remind us on how God and nature has created a way for us to release negative energy, to release all that pent up, a way for us to release negative energy, to release all that pent up work energy we had today, to release it in a beautiful, positive way. And while releasing that negative energy, reestablishing love, peace, and prosperity in our hearts. Thank you all so much for the gifts. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Today is episode 196. 196 episodes of the Grounding Daily Show. Actually, Actually, a few more than that. It's day 196. We've had some days where we feel more than once. Thank you, Dom. We love you. And one of the reasons why we've had some days where we feel more than once. Thank you, Dom. We love you. And one of the reasons why we created this show, this grounded energy is for everyone. And it allows us, thank you for letting me know. Let me walk back over this way. It might be a little bit better over here. Everyone let me know that you can hear me and see me okay. I could have also had my finger on the microphone button. But everyone let me know. Type a 5 in the chat if you can hear me and see me okay. I want to make sure before I get to going. But this love and positive energy is available for all of us on a day-to-day basis. Because there is no mistakes in this world. Just like we go through all these problems and traumas and all these different things that surround us with negativity on a day-to-day basis, God is not going to leave us in the dust without help. How do I decline? God is not going to leave us in the dust without help. The same way this bird is enjoying this energy, we're meant to do the same. Because what happens is when we come out here and we put our feet barefoot on the ground and we tap into this loving energy, we touch and hug the trees, our bodies naturally release the negative energy of the day. So all the stress you had at work, all the traumas that you had driving in traffic on the way home, for your children who may have had a stressful day at school or college, or whatever the case may be, this is the type of energy you want at the end of the day to allow yourself to cleanse and release all of the negativity from today. Hey, Firefly. Y'all see that beautiful firefly come right into the camera with us? It allows us to release that negativity. Peace and prosperity to you, Candace. Ellie, my beautiful moderator, peace and prosperity to you. These big, beautiful trees are not just releasing negativity, taking up our to you. These big, beautiful trees are not just releasing negativity, taking up our carbon dioxide and replacing it with oxygen. Just touching this beautiful tree helps us to release negative energy. Hey, Keita, peace and prosperity to you. Thank you, Keita. I appreciate you. Thank you, everyone, for the gifts. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all so much. So when we hear about people earthing, grounding, coming out and hugging the trees, and we see the big smiles on their faces when they do it, we feel that loving light energy as they embrace that positive God-like energy. It's because it's meant for all of us. So as I do this now, we love you, Sonny. As I do this now, the same way the photons in this phone, when we see something wild, crazy, or negative on TikTok, right now I am sending photons of love right to you. Right through your eyes. Hey, Trav, peace and prosperity to you, brother. Right through your beautiful eyes, right through your beautiful ears, you are receiving a download of peace and prosperity as we speak. That is our goal. That is why we come out every day. Every single day. Because not everyone can come outside and enjoy this energy. Not everyone has that opportunity, unfortunately. Not everyone is even aware that this is a beneficial practice that can literally balance and change your life. I know, Sonny, I know. But that's what we're here for, is to be a reminder, to be a vessel of love, to be a reflection of this love and positive energy that is always available to you. Of this love and positive energy that is always available to you. Always available to you. I want to give a big shout out to my loving family on here. I know I was a little off today. For those who know, my truck was down for about 5 days, and today was my first full day back on the road. Exactly, Sonny. I'm going to talk about that more in a second, too, because it literally does tap into our nervous system. I was down for 5 days, not driving, and today was my first full day back on the road, my first 500-mile day again in that 5-day period, and it wore me down. It wore me down. I can't front. And I am a bit exhausted. I quite literally saved the last bit of my energy to be able to be here, right now, to provide this loving experience. As I have promised the world, as I have promised myself, to do God's work and be here. So I hope y'all, accept me not being on as much today. DJ Hawaii Tourist Gang, good to see you, brother. Because I'll talk about, they definitely got their money's worth out of me today. They definitely got their money's worth out of me today. Peace and prosperity to you, my brother. It's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. It was a nice, eventful day on the road, but I got my 500 in, and tomorrow I go get to see my daughter, and tonight I'm going to have me a good rest and before I even see her, so it's all been worth it, but I definitely had to pull back from the phone a little bit more today than usual in order to compensate for the energy and focus I needed on the road. Thank you all so much for the gifts. So I say that because I love y'all. And sometimes I miss missing out on spending time with y'all on here. But I did want to take a moment and explain, let y'all know I was thinking about y'all and y'all are appreciated. I want to tap into more of the energy about forgiveness like we have been spoken about the last few days. My beautiful, loving friend Miko, who currently is still the reigning champion of viewer time on this amazing channel. She had a question for us during our panel yesterday that I thought was amazing, and it's been thought-provoking ever since for me, where she asked, as we was talking about forgiveness and how the forgiveness video made us all feel, which, by the way, the full forgiveness presentation is up and available on my YT page. The link is in my bio. That full video is up and available. If you did not see it or did not get to see the whole video, I definitely recommend watching it. I may be a little biased, but it was literally one of the best grounding performances we've recorded. And I'm proud to have it up for everybody to see, for anybody to go get that reminder and tap into that love and forgiveness energy. So if you didn't see it, definitely check it out. But afterwards, we talked about it a little bit, and she asked an amazing question. She said, what are some things you can't forgive or that you shouldn't forgive? Hey, user, peace and prosperity to you. Thank you so much for being here. And that thought-provoking question got me to thinking about some events in my life where I didn't choose forgiveness. It got me thinking about some events in my life where I felt like forgiveness was not enough. And I told her then, I'm going to say it again now, I said, to answer that question, I got to give two answers, the righteous answer and then the human answer. The righteous answer being, of course, yeah, you want to forgive everything. You want to forgive everything, everybody. To the best of our abilities, we want to do so. Thank you, Miko. I love you. To the absolute best of our abilities, we want to forgive anything and everything we can. However, that is the righteous answer. And sometimes in this unruly world, we got to kind of got to move with the tide. You got to kind of move with the flow of things. And sometimes it puts you in a position where your boundaries have been crossed too much. The tables have turned too many times. And sometimes it may turn to something else that forgiveness can't account for. I am human. I am transparent here as always, so I'm going to talk about a little bit about that while still trying to lead us in a righteous way as best I can. Because in the situations that I think about where I chose vengeance over righteousness, in the situations that I think about where I did not choose to forgive or to love and let go, I remember in the midst of getting my lick back, which I'm saying that in that way because we are on TikTok and we love the TikTok shot. In those situations where I was able to get my quote unquote lick back, in some cases even physically, I remember then thinking to myself, well, I feel a little bit better right now. I feel like I'm tilting the scales back in a way that favors me, favors those that's been wrong, favor myself that's in how I've been wrong, or how I feel like I've been mistreated. And I felt, at least in that moment, that I had did the right thing. Looking back on it from years ago, I still honestly feel like I did the right thing. Jay, I love you, brother. Good to see you. Peace and prosperity. I still feel like I did the right thing. However, the truth in that matter is this. Although I did get some physical satisfaction in that vengeful moment, it didn't clean the slate. See, for me, when I think about forgiveness, forgiveness is for us. Forgiveness is for us. And so when we think about letting something go, when we think about forgiveness, when we think about being able to sit in gratitude, that means we've let go of the negativity. We've let go of the regret. Hey, Mama 2, peace and prosperity to you. That rhymed. Good to see you. Trav, thank you so much for coming back in. Everyone, thank you so much for tapping the screen, getting your daily heart meetings. I love the popular votes. Popular votes are so important. It helps to push out the live. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. We love you, Mama, too. So good to see you. When we think about allowing ourselves to let go of whatever has wronged us, whatever has hurt us, and then learn to forgive, what happens is we start a clean slate. We start fresh and new in our body, in our soul, in our minds. We let go of that situation. Also, like my brother Jay said yesterday, just forgiving doesn't mean that we take someone back, that we incorporate them in our lives, that we remain friends with them, or that we even allow them to cross our boundaries again. The whole idea of forgive and forget is only half truth. You definitely want to forgive, but you don't forget. You can't forget. To even attempt to try to forget what has happened or to forget the trauma is really almost running away from it. It's to push it aside and not to actually let it go, but to ignore it, sweep it under the rug. Exactly. None of us can, Mom of Two. That's the whole point. None of us can. We're not supposed to. We're not supposed to. And realistically, it's a much more difficult thing to release it without forgetting. It's a much more difficult thing to let it go and still not forget. And just because it's more difficult, we are, of course, getting a much bigger reward when we do that. But in those moments where it seems like forgiveness is just not going to work, and we have to retaliate. We have to retaliate. It doesn't clean the slate. That's the truth of it. That's the difference. Because I would love to tell you that if you get that vengeance and you retaliate, that it will smooth things over and make things better. That's not always the case. I'm not going to fib to y'all. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm not going to tell y'all anything wrong. Living by those examples, I know and understand that the only way to really just let it all go and completely to forgive is to leave it alone. But sometimes you got situations with people are going to continue to push your boundaries until you retaliate. That's life. Hey, Mom of Two, I love you. I appreciate that beautiful gift. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And it's a lot of people, it's a lot of beautiful, spiritual, powerful people who are not going to explain the truth of that to you. But I will. I will, because it's the right thing to do. It's important to understand. And even more important than just talking about it is living it, so that when we have these experiences and we have these conversations, it's a firefly flying in toward us again. I'm gonna see if I can catch it on camera. When we have these situations, what we don't want to do, hey Mama Bear, we love you. What we don't want to do in these circumstances is hold on to the regret. And it's going to be much harder to not hold on to the regret because, again, you did not clean the slate. You did not go toward the righteous forgiveness portion of it. And so now you got a much more difficult task to now not only forgive the person who did you wrong that you had to retaliate against, but then also forgive yourself for retaliating. It becomes that much more complex. It becomes that much harder work. Hey, Dupree, peace and prosperity to you. Thank you so much for being here. And that's the truth of it. But we didn't sign up for an easy life. We signed up for a real learning experience. And when we think about a learning experience, most of us may think back to a teacher. That one teacher who failed us when everybody else let us slide. That one teacher who told us the truth no matter what was going on. That one loved one, parent, friend, associate, that no matter how bad we might have wanted to hear a lie, no matter how bad we may have wanted them to embellish, they gave us the real. Even if it hurt us, they gave us the real. Mama, too, I really appreciate you. Thank you so, so much. But we remember them for that righteous moment where they let us know what it really was. All the teachers I've had in my lifetime, I remember Mr. LaPon. He was my English teacher in 10th and 11th grade of high school. I had him twice. He flunked me and made me go to summer school. I would never forget him. Short little European guy. He used to sing about it in class. He'd take the old Sinatra song and you'll be in summer school. And he'd walk around the class singing it. He was a nice guy. I had all these other teachers who, because I was charming and because I was a beautiful person, even despite my young, wild antics, that, they didn't want to flunk me. They didn't, they either felt bad for me or, whatever the case may be. But not Mr. LaPon. And it wasn't on any spiteful thing. It wasn't like he didn't try to help me in my English class. It wasn't like he wasn't there for me. Thank you so much for 10K. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you, my dear. Thank you, Sunny Goddess. Thank you, everybody. It wasn't like he was trying to be vengeful, but he knew. He knew that was important to show me the truth of life. And the truth in that moment was, if I don't do the work, I'm not going to succeed. If I didn't do the right thing, I wasn't going to get the benefits of doing the right thing. And that just giving me a C because you like me and you think I'm a good person was not going to benefit me in the long run. So here we are, well over 20 years later, and I remember this man's name. I remember his face. Not because he was my favorite by any means necessary, but because that discipline was necessary in my life at that time. And he was courageous enough to do the right thing despite others. That's where truth is supposed to do for us. Truth is supposed to remind us of our lessons, of the things we're experiencing. If we are not facing the truth, if we're not looking at reality for what it is, we're not going to pay attention to it. We're going to breeze right by like the way I breeze by so many other of my classes. We're not going to be affected in a way that allows us to learn the lesson that we're meant to gain. We're just going to continue moving on, assuming we can do things and get away with it and not have any consequence. And that's not real life. In real life, whether you're right or wrong, there is always consequences. Right and wrong could be subject to whoever's opinion. Because I may do something right that someone else may think is wrong, and I may do something wrong that someone else may think is right. Hey, Ro, we love you. Good to see you. And Ro, we're talking about forgiveness. We're talking about discipline. I was referencing initially how our beautiful friend Miko asked about the things we can't forgive, the things we can't let go, or the situations that we may respond to in a negative way because we have to. And I just was explaining that even in those regards, thank you, Jay, I appreciate you being here, brother. Even in those regards, in those circumstances when that happens, there is going to be a consequence. And usually that consequence is not going to be referenced to balance. But we have to learn. That's what we're here for. We're here to learn. We're here to be on a mission to gain perspective. God has given us free will and the option to live out our lives and live out our days with free will and choices so that we can be able to experience it for ourselves and learn for ourselves. I'm reading a book called Forgiving What You Can't Forget. Ooh, I like the sound of that. Forgiving What You Can Forget. My brother, the King God, good to see you, brother. Thank you so much for being here. We are out here grounded in nature. As always, talking about the beauty of God and the understanding of free will. Talking about how in certain circumstances, even when we don't choose righteousness, peace and prosperity to you, brother, even in those some circumstances where we are forced to retaliate, it's going to always be consequences to it. But guess what? We're allowed to choose our consequences. Thank you so much, Ro. We're allowed to choose our consequences. We're allowed to choose. These fireflies is literally trying to get some camera time today. It's so cool. We're allowed to choose our consequences. We're allowed to choose our vices. Also reading The Mountain Is You. That sounds good too. We're allowed to choose these things. We're allowed to make those decisions for ourselves every single day. Every single day. A lot of times we're going to judge ourselves more than God is even going to judge us. A lot of times we're not going to forgive ourselves. We're going to assume that we're not worth the forgiveness, that what we did was just so bad, that the response was so terrible, that maybe we don't deserve it. Maybe we shouldn't forgive ourselves. Maybe we should live with regret. And that's not the truth either. It's just not the truth. That's not reality. The reality of it is, I was so mad at Mr. LaPond for flunking me that year and making me go to summer school. I was pissed. You gonna come hang out with us? Beautiful firefly. It's literally flying up on my face right now. Let's see if we can catch it on camera. Oh, it dipped off. As I was trying to catch it on the front camera, it literally like flew almost right on my forehead. Thank you for coming back, Lawyer. We love you. For those who missed it, I was referencing my 11th grade teacher who flunked me in English and made me go to summer school. And the reason why I remember his name, why I remember his face, is because he flunked me and I had to go to summer school. And I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it. But it was the right thing to do. I needed to learn that lesson. I didn't put the work in. I had consequences for my actions. Forgiveness is also being able to associate that truth, that we are not going to always make the right decision. We are not always going to make the positive, righteous choice. But we still got to forgive ourselves. And we still got to forgive the others involved. Because I can't be mad at Mr. LaPond forever. I'm not sure if he's even still here with us physically. But if I ever seen him again, I'll shake his hand and tell him thank you. Because I understood now as a grown man that he did the right thing. And so what was a negative in my childhood, I can now give y'all in retrospect the love and positivity that I received from that negative action, or at least what was perceived as a negative action. I appreciate you, Jay. I always appreciate you, brother. What I perceived as a negative action turned out to be a positive because I got to learn some discipline. And it can go both ways. That's why we are able to use energy the way we are. We're able to take a negative and turn it into a positive the same way we can take a positive and turn it into a negative. That's free will. We have that choice every moment, every second of our existence. Every moment, every second. There is no exception to that. No exception at all. We don't have to let that go. If a choice, a decision doesn't work out the way we want it to, the way we planned it to, we still don't let that go. Hey, Drea, one of my favorite Geminis. So good to see you. Peace and prosperity to you. We do not have to let that go. I thought about our conversation with Miko on multiple occasions last night, this morning. And as we all talked about it as a family, and it was, again, to me, my retaliation moments where I didn't choose righteousness and I didn't choose forgiveness, my retaliation moments, when I really think about it, I probably changed that brother's life. The same way Mr. LaPon changed my life, I probably changed his. I can not just hope and assume, but very realistically say to myself, well, you know what? I bet you he didn't do it again to nobody else. I bet you he didn't do it again to himself. It's so good to see you, Drea. Thank you for being here. I bet that was a lesson learned that maybe it took years and years to understand and appreciate. My negative action, or at least what was perceived as a negative action, became a life-changing situation that may have led to a different path, a different journey. How many of us have been in negative circumstances or are even still dealing with some negative circumstances, which has led us to a new strength, a new resolve inside of us that we didn't know we had? Because I tell you the truth, it's not always the good situations that give us strength. In most cases, it's not the good situations that give us strength. I crack myself up sometimes. But it's the truth. It's not always the good stuff that give us strength, that help us to find that inner strength that we didn't even know we had to deal with a situation. It's those moments where we have nothing or feel like we have nothing. It's those moments where we feel like we have no one. It's those bad circumstances where the world turns its back on you. It's those circumstances where you feel like all the people you helped ain't helping you, that you find some new strength, new power that you never realized you had. So in that case, right, what do? We turn that negative into a positive. We turn that negative into a positive. And in the same breath, probably in the same moment, in a different universe or even on the same planet, somebody else may be taking a positive situation that they have taken for granted, that they didn't appreciate, and turn it into a lesson. The hardest lessons have shaped me and taught me so much perseverance. It gives you power. Yes. Yes, it does. And the more we recognize that these situations are happening for us and not to us, the more we can take advantage of that power. The more we can learn from it, the more we can gain from it. The more we allow ourselves to recognize the truth of free will, the truth that there is no good or bad. It is what we make of every situation, what we do with every circumstance, regardless of our decision making. Hey, your health, peace, and prosperity. Thank you so much for coming in. The way we handle the situation is what's the most important. And no matter how we deal with it, we have to forgive ourselves and love ourselves moving forward. And be motivation, inspiration for the next person. Yes. Because right now, using that same example you're talking about, Ro, I am taking me being failed, my failure in 11th grade English class, Mr. LaPon flunking me, right? I am now taking that energy from a moment that I would have considered at that time a trauma, and I am now bringing it here with us amongst loved ones, amongst a safe, positive, beautiful space, and using it as a positive, loving example to benefit us. Hey, New York, peace and prosperity to you, brother. Good to see you. We love you. We appreciate you coming in. Underworld Mystic, I love that new picture, brother. Thank you so much for being here. Peace and prosperity to you. I am taking what was considered a negative situation, a negative circumstance, which was caused by me. I can't blame nobody else. I can't blame nobody else for my fault in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Grand evening, I like that. Peace and prosperity to you, brother. I am taking in this grand evening a circumstance that was negative and somewhat traumatic, and I am turning it into a loving, positive message for all of us here. For everyone who will listen on the YT page, for millions of people will be able to gain from my negative experience, remind themselves of their own similar experiences, because we've all had one. We've all had one similar. Everybody here is thinking of one right now, and remind us that even in those moments, we are allowed to be forgiven, especially to forgive ourselves. That's what it means to be an alchemist, my brother. Transmuting the energy into positivity to the best of our abilities. We're not going to always get it right. We're not going to always make the right decision. Sometimes we need to go left when we need to go right, and vice versa. Sometimes we need to go up when we need to go down, and vice versa. It's going to happen. We're human. But we're human. But we move with a self-love first attitude, so that whatever happens, we can find a way to make it beneficial. We can find a way to make it beneficial. Rosemary and Trav, thank you both so much for coming back in. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Robert, thank you so much for coming in. Peace and prosperity to you. It's all working through forgiveness. It's all working through gratitude. To even get to a grateful moment, you got to be able to release, not forget. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Everybody for tapping the screen. Everybody was hitting the poplars. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you all so much for being here. That's how it works. We get to the gratitude, which allows us to manifest what we want to create in this world by accepting the reality of things, not sweeping it under the rug, not trying to run from it, not trying to forget about it. That whole forgive and forget. Forgive, don't forget. Don't forget. You can't forget. You trying to forget is you running away from it. Deal with it. Face it. Understand who you are, not just who you were when you started the problem or the situation, but who you are now. It's okay to make that comparison to say, you know what? Me from a year ago would not have made this mistake. Now I learned my lesson. Now I'm going to move differently. Myself from 6 months ago would not have made this mistake. Now I know who I am. Now I've learned my lesson. Now I move differently. That's you taking that same energy that may have caused you conflict, even some conflicts you may be dealing with right now, and recognizing how you have improved on yourself. So you are forgiving yourself and being grateful for what you've experienced. You're being grateful for the lessons learned. You're being grateful for who you are right now. Because you got to recognize that you are different. You got to recognize and appreciate for who you are and what you've experienced and how you survived it. How you thrived through it. How you're thriving now. Hey, Top Hat, peace and prosperity to you. I used to play with the Top Hat when I played Monopoly. I always thought the top hat was real player. Living in gratitude, my brother. I know you are, brother. I'm so thankful you're here. You're a reminder to me. You're a reminder to me constantly on how we can take our art and live in gratitude, how we can be positive, and I appreciate you for that. You said you play with the top hat too? Yeah, man, the top hat was the one. My mom liked the shoe. I played with the top hat. I don't think my sister had a favorite because I can't remember. But I like, my mama always played with the shoe. I always played with the top hat. That was my one. Shout out to the person who just came in with the name top hat. But that's the truth of it. So, it's a complicated answer to my wonderful friend's question. We love you, Miko. I thank you so much for the thought-provoking ideas. But what I can say is that even though my responses in those situations where I didn't forgive, even though my response in those situations was not always the most righteous, I definitely am going to find ways to use it in a positive way right now. That's the key. That's the key. All right? There's a new second right now. Not right now, but right now. How am I going to use that energy right now? I can't control what just happened. I can't control 5 minutes ago, let alone a year ago, let alone 20 years ago. I can't do anything about it. I can control right now. I can control this very second, this very moment, and I can make a decision for myself that no one is forcing me to do that's going to be beneficial to me. I don't have to forget what happened. I'm going to use that energy. I don't have to quote unquote let it go. I'm going to use that energy. I'm going to forgive myself, and I'm going to find a way to turn that whatever it was into something beneficial here and now. That's the key. Right now, use that negative energy from before towards something positive. Right now, find a way through that circumstance you are in to make it better for you right now, for your kids right now. Find a way to make it better for the collective right now. Even if you couldn't figure it out yesterday, even if you don't know exactly what to do, love on yourself and use that as your moral compass. Hey, Unfiltered Healing, peace and prosperity to you. I love your page. I love your page. Thank you so much for coming in. We were actually just talking about gratitude. We was talking about forgiveness and gratitude. If this is your first time here, I am your host, Patah. We are outside grounding, hugging the trees. And our topic of discussion is about forgiveness and gratitude. I'm going to see if I can pronounce this name correctly. Aisha. Aisha, thank you so much for being here. Peace and prosperity to you. But we're talking about the gratitude and forgiveness because we need those energies moving forward in order to manifest what we really want out of life, in order to make our lives better right now. We need that energy moving forward. We need that forgiveness energy moving forward. We need energy moving forward. We need that forgiveness energy moving forward. We need to take whatever happened before and turn it into a positive. Hey, Princess. Peace and prosperity to you. Hey, Rap Gari. Peace and prosperity to you. We love you, Princess. So that's really all I wanted to say tonight. I wanted to get us on that understanding. And this is what the show is all about. Hey, Mother of Three. Shout out to you, Capricorn. Good to see you. You love me back? I want some of them cookies then. I want some of them chocolate chip cookies you made. I'll send you the address to send them to me. I answered the phone today, Mother of Three. I answered the phone today. You be proud of me. On a whole Tuesday, I was answering the phone. Enticing peace and prosperity to you, Taurus gang. Princess gonna send me those cookies in the mail. I know I ain't supposed to be eating them. I don't need to be eating no cookies, right? I'm gonna make a eating them. I don't need to be eating no cookies, right? I'm gonna make a I'm gonna make a conscious decision because I do have control. I do have free will to eat those cookies, right? I'm gonna recognize when I eat those cookies, like, okay, I need to go to the gym. That's how I'm gonna turn this negative calorie moment into a positive. I'm gonna take my butt to the gym after I eat them cookies. I'm not gonna eat them in moderation. I'm not. I know myself. I'm gonna smash them. I'm gonna have one handful, one big old handful. I'm a little cookie monster. I'm like, but then I'm gonna wipe my beard off and I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna turn I'm gonna turn that negative into a positive right then and there. Because we have the free will to make our decisions. Thank you, Mother of Three. We love you, Capricorn. We have the right to make the decisions that we want to make. It's only up to us if it's negative or positive. I'm gonna transmute them cookies. You damn right, Ellie. I'm going. It's only up to us if it's negative or positive. Can't nobody else tell you. Can't nobody else make the decision for you. Don't let somebody else's projections put onto you what you should do with those cookies. If you're gonna eat them cookies, if you're gonna drink that Starbucks, just make sure your next decision that you forgive yourself, you live in the gratitude moment, and then you find a way to benefit from it. You find a way to benefit from it. You find a way to benefit from it. That's the important part. Don't sit and slouch and complain. Don't become stagnant. Find a way to benefit from every decision you make. Right or wrong, left or right, up or down. As above, so below. It's an eat the cake anime. As above, so below. As within, so without. That's just the truth of it. Find a way right now, in this very moment, to transmute that energy into something positive. And keep going. Ride that wave and momentum out. Keep going. Surround yourself with beautiful, loving people like the people here in this chat to remind you that you are still loving and beautiful. If I eat those cookies and I got them all over my face, Princess still gonna love me. And Tyson's still gonna love me. Loyal's still gonna love me. They gonna be like, hey, you got some cookies in your face. Brush them cookies out your beard. I'm gonna brush them out my beard, and I'm gonna still receive love and positive energy from the people around me because I'm because because I am surrounded by love and positive people. I'm surrounded by people who are looking for positive things and positive ways to live their lives, who are uplifting themselves constantly. Elandu, peace and prosperity to you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you everyone for tapping the screen. I appreciate y'all. We're gonna go ahead and close up. I gotta get up early to go get my daughter. I'm gonna try to hang out in the TikTok streets a little while before I pass out. But hey Tony, we love you, brother. Peace and prosperity to you. You missed a good one, man. We was talking about cookies and forgiveness. We was talking about cookies and forgiveness. I'm about to forget my shoes. Here they go. I be ready to leave my shoes behind. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all coming in. I will. The forgiveness special event episode is up on YT on my link in my bio. I recommend checking out all my episodes, obviously, and I feel like I've done great in everything I've produced. But when I tell y'all that the forgiveness episode is one of the most important episodes I've ever posted, please watch it. Please watch it. It is, in my personal opinion, and maybe it's some people here who have seen it or is here during it that may tell you the same. I appreciate you, brother. I really, in my heart, feel like that was one of the most powerful and beautiful episodes I've ever made. And I'm very proud of it. I definitely recommend everybody check that out. And I'll make sure I get tonight's episode up as soon as possible. I'm in the process of downloading yesterday's episode. We'll get them all up for everybody to see. Because I enjoy allowing us to have the option to go and watch and tap into this energy whenever we need to, whenever we want to. You know, because life calls us. We can't always be here. But I want the messages to be there for y'all whenever y'all need to. I like to go back sometime and watch my old episodes to remind myself of things. Because I have to go back sometime and watch my old episodes to remind myself of things. Because I'm still living in this experience. All resonate is because I'm a student and a teacher. I'm a student and a teacher. And I'm learning and growing. Growth and reflection, just like Tyson said. The same way we all are. The same way we all are. Thank you so much for the gifts, everyone. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna do my best to try to hang out in this TikTok streets, but I ain't gonna front. I may go to sleep the moment I turn this phone off. I did my 500 miles of driving today. It was my first day back doing that many miles, and I'm exhausted. But I'm gonna try my best to hang out in the TikTok streets for a little while before I go to sleep. I gotta be up at 5 in the morning, so it ain't gonna be too long, but I'm gonna do my best. I know, Ellie, I will. I ain't get to spend time with y'all all day, really. I enjoy y'all as much as y'all enjoy me. My brother, you ain't never late. You ain't never late. Hey, Manifesting. Manifesting, I'm just closing out, but I'll make sure I get this up on YouTube. Oh, excuse me, YT. I'm not supposed to say the whole thing. You can't say the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest. We talked about forgiveness and cookies. Manifesting, we talked about forgiveness and cookies tonight. You would have loved it. But everyone who did not catch the forgiveness special, wait, since when? We talked about, for anyone who did not catch the forgiveness special, definitely check it out. That is up right now on my beautifully, very special, and I recommend beautifully, very special, and I recommend it for anybody and everybody, no matter who you are, no matter where you are in your journey. So I'll have today's episode up as soon as I gifts everyone coming in. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I had to. I was literally about to push the button. Y'all heard me do my closeout, but I couldn't let y'all miss this. I know you was trying to get on the camera the whole time. I know you was. Okay, now we can go.